Welcome everyone to Sunday Madness with the TitaniumTinman. That's me, Roo Marr. Now, what we have for you today, with a courtesy of the McRae Hutch special you see before you, which is based loosely on the paint job of the Starsky Hutch car, the Ford Gran Torino GT. Not the film. Oh God, not the film. The film with Ben Stillbrain and Owen the Taxman Wilson. No, this was a very serious show in the late 70s, early 80s. My favourite one as a child, with a terrible car that I thought was really cool because I didn't know it was awful. Anyway, that's where the paint job comes from, but because it's blue and white, so it's the colours of the Saltar, the Scottish flag. This is dedicated to Colin McRae, one of the greatest rally drivers ever. You can see me doing Mac attacks, as they were known, by smacking past people and generally crashing. So it's a standard Impreza, the idea being this is a Sunday driving madness, recorded on a Sunday at the Suzuka East circuit as part of a GT event, which was called Sunday Madness, so it's a good title. And I decided what I would do is do the events, pick one car. This is the only car I owned at the time because it was Sunday, just gone, and progress. So start with an automatic gearbox, standard car, change nothing, and just learn how to drive using the motion controller that I've got. I haven't got a steering wheel, I've got a motion controller as a steering wheel. So this is what we're doing. Here we are. Now this is the first race. It's going to be a repetition of the same race, but there's going to be clips from 6 races as I improved. First I improved my driving, got used to it a bit, then I started improving the car, and then finally I stuck it on a manual gearbox and tried not to crash at any corner, never mind the first corner. Hey Mr. Hat-trick. So you can see I'm kind of okay here, not great, but a bit all over the place. My steering gets a bit better, but the biggest problem I think is probably braking, taking corners at the right speed. Lots of rear-ending of people, smacking them out of the way. But fair enough, they're in my way. Get out of the way. They're all fat. So, what can I tell you? Also, I finally managed. What is this? This is the final lap, and I finally caught up with this pink thing. Now, this pink thing, look at him. It's a Toyota GT86. That pink thing is driven by a psychotic computer. That psychotic computer keeps smashing past me like it's allowed to. That's my job. How dare it? God, who does he think he is? Hugh Hat-trick? Who said that? Now, so, coming to the end, I managed to win. Goodness knows how. I had it on the highest level, I think. But as you can look at him, look at that pink thing. But yeah, I was quite surprised. The biggest problem I had with it, as I say, was on the brakes. The back end kept going on me, which is a car setup problem, and that's really what inspired me to change the settings on the car. So that's the first race, which I won. So here we go. This is race 3. I skipped 2. Nothing changed on the car, really. All we've got is me trying to get more used to it. Now, this overtaking method that I've got, I'm not sure whether it's Jason Plato or his arch rival Thingamajig, the taller one that had a few fights in British touring cars, but it's definitely inspired by British touring cars. Some of my manoeuvres are a little bit rally driving, so maybe it's Jason Plato mixed with Colin McRae. You never know. How could you know? It's impossible. So, as you can see, I'm still overdoing a bit, but I'm getting the hang of it. First lap, 1 minute 10 seconds. Now, still got problems in that first corner. It seems to be a heavy braking blues, or is it first corner blues? Heavy braking first corner blues. Could be any of those things. Who knows? It's impossible to find out. I'm all over the place. Look at this, scrappy. In, out, shake it all about. That's the back end. Oh, yeah, here we go. Now, it's an interesting little thing coming up here. This last corner I'm not getting brilliantly well. Sometimes more successful than others. but I've got it down to a 106, which is to be expected. Once again, first corner, started to get the hang of it. Braking earlier, coming off the power, letting it roll and settle, and then turning into the corner. That mad pink car again, and then off we go, chasing after the red car. Pink car still after us, mad pink computer car, hot head, hot pink. Oh, I messed that up. And then last corner, going in again, and boom, mad pink car. Let's watch that again. Mad pink car, boom. You got to pay for that, mate. Where do they get these computers from? Where do they train them? So, end of lap 3, end of the race. Didn't do him any good, still destroyed many cones, no ice cream. And we got a 104. And that is that. Right, welcome to race 14. Now, what I've done is I've spent the past 10 or so races honing and changing the car. I've lowered the ride height, I've stiffened the rear anti-roll bar, I put a rake on the suspension, so it's slightly higher at the back than it is at the front. This I found to be essential to have stability. And look at the change of the handling. I've also altered the gearbox. It's now got a custom straight cut gearbox, which you can tell with the sound, that whining noise. But even when a car smacks into the side of me, the back end no longer goes, and it's just so much pointier, but without the rear going. So what this is doing is it's stopping the transfer of the weight. Look at me, in, out. Still hitting cars, obviously, but I've just got a lot more control. There's less hitting, you know. Right, lap 2's interesting because it's my best lap of the day. Yeah, I mean, look at the control on the car there. I did find the way that this game treats anti-roll bars very different to real life. In real life, if you stiffen the rear anti-roll bar, your steering becomes pointier, but you're risking the back end stepping out on you. On this game, I found that if you stiffen the rear anti-roll bar, the back end stayed more stable. Bizarre. So here we go. I just did a really tidy lap. I managed to stay on the black stuff mostly, with a lot more control to end up with a time of 1 minute. Really good. I struggled to match that time again. I think I might have only done it one other time, but here we go. Still not very consistent though, as you'll see in a minute. Oh dear. I did find actually that when there's no rolling roadblocks in the way, it was harder to go quick. Oh dear, I just like off-roading, it's fun. So, race 17, the sounds disappeared at the beginning of this, and I do apologise. Notice how I'm catching up with the Red Mazda 6 and overtaking it before the braking zone. That is because I have altered the gear ratios and the final drive. So, the car now uses all 6 gears on the home straight, reaches about 130 odd, 125, 130 mile an hour, and accelerates faster out of all of these corners. It's fantastic. This is right at the end of the race where I managed to mess up the last but one corner. Did a bit of rally driving, so I'd include it just to show that apparently I am not perfect. Here we go, whippy! But still, car control. I mean, it's the perfect car to be on the gravel with. Let's see that again, but from a new angle. Put your foot down, understeer into the gravel, and then just carry on regardless. Yippee! Here we go. It's all fun. So, end of the race. Now let's have a look at the time. Very consistent. So, this is the last race I did. That's not what I'm going to put on here. My 19th race. You may notice, by the way, I maxed out my revolutions per minute there. And by the way, there's a little M and a T next to the gear indicator. But this is on a manual gear change. So I did all the changes I did. And then tried to use paddle shift. Now the paddles on my little PlayStation pad are the two joysticks. I've got them both set up to be identical, so you push up to go up and down, pull down to go down. It means I can change with either hand, and I don't accidentally knock them like you do with buttons. It was tough. It is tough, isn't it? But this is the first time I've done it. I've got used to the tracks, I'm to think, and as I got used to the gear change, it got easier and easier. So, there you go. I'm really pleased. Seriously pleased with how this has gone. It took hours, but it was part of the interest for me. Some people don't like setup. I do. Look at that, entering that corner at hitting the apex was about 70 odd, wasn't it? Oops. Hit the rev limiter again. And you're fighting with a red French thing at the same time as trying to steer, at the same time as trying not to stamp on the accelerator or the brake. And then you've got to change gear. God, that Audi's all over the place. Back end going. I thought they understeered. Never mind. But yeah, it's been a bit of a journey. I decided to take the sim numpties of the world with me. Or none of them that are going to be watching this. Just remember, I do not want to be famous, just rich. What if you could monetize a YouTube channel without anyone knowing who you are? That'd be quite cool. Yeah. Rich anonymity. You like the Spice Girls? Oh no, that's rich and talented. Oh well. Decided to include the whole of the 3 laps of this race because you get a beginning and an end. Right at the beginning, where the car was flopping all over the place, I was flopping all over the place, the gears were flopping and changing erratically and randomly, through the story of sorting out the handling and sorting out the gearbox and gear ratios. And that paint thing's after me again. But anyway, thank you for joining me on this journey, and I'll see you again soon.